What's good YouTube? Gino checking back in for another video today, and today I would like to discuss a topic that a subscriber left in a comment on my last video, which is how to stick to your diet and how to not quit your diet. A lot of people have problems sticking to their diet because they most likely go on a binge, they cheat, and eventually, they stop dieting at all and don't reach their goals. So I'm going to make a video discussing a few tips and tricks on how to stick to your diet. So let's begin. Make your diet as sustainable and maintainable as possible. And what I mean by that is you shouldn't punish yourself because you're dieting. You don't really necessarily have to jump into a huge ass deficit straight away when you start dieting. Say your maintenance is around 3,000 calories. It's really unnecessarily and even a pretty stupid idea to jump straight to 2,000 calories because you're on a diet and you have to eat less than normal. So make it sustainable and make small steps into your deficit. For what I always use and what I advise people to do is start with a 400 to 500 calorie deficit, which puts you at around 2600 to 2500, and then slowly decrease calories whenever you reach a weight loss plateau. Because that's a mistake that a lot of people make, is they jump way too fast into a really huge calorie deficit, which makes it unsustainable because your hunger levels are really not caught up to the amount of calories that you're eating, which is really low at that time. So the second tip I want to give you guys is don't necessarily cut out all food sources. As most of you guys may or may not know, flexible dieting, you can eat whatever you want and still get to your body composition goals. That means you can basically get shredded on ice cream and pizza, like something like that, Most people try to cut out all unhealthy food sources, which is because they contain a lot of calories, which makes them unable to eat a lot for the day. But it doesn't mean you have to immediately cut out all food sources that are unhealthy. You can still fit in maybe some ice cream or some candy, as long as you limit it to a certain amount. I always advise people to eat around 70 to 80% clean, unprocessed foods and fit in the rest, with whatever you want. By doing this, eating some unhealthy food sources per day or maybe a couple times a week, fitting in these foods every now and then makes it way more sustainable for you to stick to your diet, because you're getting all these cravings out of the way that you might have when you don't eat any junk food at all. So don't cut out all food sources immediately, and treat yourself to something every now and then as long as it fits your macros. That's the most important thing. The deficit is all that matters. Reaching your macros and your calorie goal for the day is way more important for body composition goals than eating clean like the entire day. Hit your macros and you'll lose fat, guaranteed. So the third topic I want to discuss is basically, how bad do you want it? Like me personally, I've been on 3 or 4 cuts in my almost 5 years of training, and I've never binged or cheated on my diet on purpose. Whenever there was a family event where we're going out to eat, I would enjoy myself, but not to the point that I would mess up my entire diet for like 2 weeks. So you're gonna have to ask yourself, how bad do you want this? Because if you really want to get shredded, you want to get to your body composition goal, if you want to lose fat, you're gonna have to deal with some consequences. Feeling hungry, having a little bit less productive workouts in the gym. That's just part of the game, guys. I mean, cutting is fun and all, getting some shreds, getting some veins, whatever, but it's part of the process. So how bad do you want it? That's the question you gotta ask yourself. Alright, and another topic I want to talk about is making a game plan for your cuts. Write down where your calories are at right now. in your bulk or maybe at your maintenance phase before you start your cut, and then take 400 to 500 calories down from those amount of calories that you're eating right now, and stick to those amount of calories. Calculate the macros and stick to that. And then whenever you hit a weight plateau, say you're weighing the same for around half a week or a week on average, then you can drop 100 calories. Because a lot of people get the misconception that when they plateau for 2 days maybe, they think they have a weight loss plateau, and they immediately drop their calories way too fast, way too low. And that's what makes the diet so unsustainable, is because they drop way too many calories way too fast. They get weak in the gym, they get cramped, they get cranky, they get hungry. Even though, they might not have had a weight loss plateau at all, and they could have lost fat on a higher amount of calories than they are at right now. Right, and another bonus tip that I would like to give you guys is fasting. But if you try intermittent fasting, for me personally though, it helps out a lot with being able to eat a lot before my workout and after my workout, which is the fuel for your training. Alright, and the last thing I want to tell you guys is schedule weekly refeeds into your cut when you are somewhere around 12 to 10% body fat. When you do refeeds above that body fat, it's not really that beneficial, because what refeeds do is they increase your leptin levels, which is the hormone that burns fat, which actually gets lower the more fat you lose and the lower your calories are. So for a refeed, go up to your maintenance in calories by only increasing your carbs. Say you're on a cut with about 60 fat, 250 carbs and 180 grams of protein. Increase your macros up to the point that you're at your maintenance, which could be, for example, 450 grams of carbs. Do that once a week. It increases your leptin levels. It gets away some of the cravings you might have, and it's just a day that you have the ability to eat a little bit more than the normal calories that you're dieting at. So that's something that really helps me. Not really with cravings, but for me it's personally more getting rid of the hunger feeling, having one day where you eat a little bit more. Some people prefer to have a cheat day or a cheat meal. I'm personally not a really big fan of cheat meals or cheat days, because for me personally, most of the time I tend to overshoot, and it's not really in my mentality to have a cheat meal or cheat day, because whenever the opportunity comes for a cheat meal or a cheat day, I really just tend to enjoy myself, fast up to the moment, and try not to overeat, enjoy the time with maybe perhaps your family. So try that out, guys. These are just a couple of tips and tricks that I utilize for me to stick to my diet, personally. I hope some of you guys can use these tips for your own diet and see whichever one you like most. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment down below on what you liked and what you would like to see next. Subscribe to the channel for so much more content coming really soon. I'm out, guys. Peace out.